What's going on, guys, and welcome back to part 3 to the ultimate fan guide to Brockhampton. I want to start off and say that I totally lied. I totally said that I was going to make a video on Joba next, but to be honest with you guys, if I say I'm going to go in a certain order, just don't believe me at this point. For some reason, I just stumbled across like some research about Merlyn, and I was just like, you know what? I'm feeling Merlyn today. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let's get straight into it. So part 3 of the ultimate guide to Brockhampton is going to be all about Merlyn Wood. So William Merlyn Wood was born in Ghana, and he has spent the majority of his childhood in the state of Texas. He was born on May 1st, 1996, so that makes him 21, coming up on 22 right now, and he is definitely one of the more vocal members of Brockhampton, to say the least. Anybody that has listened to a lot of Brockhampton's music would know that Merlyn is like the ultimate meme right now out of the group. So after 7th grade, Merlyn's parents sent him over to a boarding school in Ghana, and there Merlyn kind of developed his love for music. He was in a jazz band, he played there for 2 years, and pretty much after those 2 years in a boarding school, he came back to the States, went to high school at the Woodlands High School. And who's been taking notes, you guys would know that the Woodlands High School is where he met Kevin Abstract, Amir, Matt Champion, and Russell Boring, or otherwise known as Joba. So to get into his character a little bit, anybody who has listened to Merlyn's verses or has paid special attention to his verses would know that his roots in Ghana and Texas and his past experiences have all been a part of the formula that create his verses. Merlyn really likes to talk about his high school struggles, his struggles in college, and really just what led up to him being a part of Brockhampton and his rise to fame. So when did Merlyn get into Brockhampton? Well, even though he's definitely one of the more important members, he didn't really join Brockhampton until a couple years after he graduated. So after Merlyn left the Houston area, he went on to go study architecture at the University of Texas in Austin. But this was more like something that his parents were kind of like pressuring to do in the moment. It's not so much that he actually wanted to go to college. He didn't feel like he fit in at all at a social level when he was in college. So rumor has it that one day a professor came in and told Merlyn that, hey man, like you have to get on a 100% on all your assignments from here on out. Otherwise, you might have to pack your bags. Well, that same night, Merlyn pretty much packed up all his bags and moved to California, and there he started working with Brockhampton. So Merlyn joined back in 2015, right after the group rebranded from the original name, Alive Since Forever, and that sort of introduced the second wave of Brockhampton, because from there, Matt Champion, Bareface, Joba, Romeo, and Q3 were all starting to pretty much come together and solidify the project as a whole. So to go on to his role in the group a little bit more, Merlyn, as I said in some of my videos, is definitely known as the hype man, to say the least. There are better ways to describe Merlyn, but I would say that Merlyn brings a lot of humor, energy, and just a huge dynamic range to Brockhampton. To me, he reminds me a lot of like a Young Thug type figure. Vocally, he has a huge range. His lyrics are super fun. They're very noticeable, and I think it's what has been a part of what makes him a meme in a way. All in all, Merlyn just kind of captures the essence of the in-your-face, can't avoid us kind of vibe that Brockhampton really strives for, and honestly, they do a really good job at handing off that responsibility to Merlyn, because while everybody else might be the storyteller, the second hype man, just the referencer, Merlyn is really there to just be a huge hype man and to really get in our faces and our ears. He has a very certain persona about him that are ultimately due to two traits that are really intricately interwoven. He has a really good, complete willingness to fail and a complete fearlessness towards rejection. Merlyn has mentioned plenty of times how, his college dropout experience, how his struggles in high school really just helped him realize that he's here to do music. He loves rap, and ultimately he has spent the last couple of years just trying to solidify his talent and move on with music. It's not so much that he didn't like school or that he struggled with school because he was, not challenged in the right way academically. It was more so that Merlyn knew what he liked from the get-go, but he wasn't afraid to fail along the way in order to make the talent shine a lot more. In an interview, Merlyn pretty much said it himself the best. The group ethic makes it so much easier to be true to myself. My friends give me the feeling that whatever I do is going to be okay. Just lay down as many ideas as possible and we'll find something that works. A disruptive presence, a frenzied approach, a maniac delivery, all these things really describe Merlyn and what he really brings to the table. And so, Merlyn and Brockhampton's music may not have like the lyrical complexity or the storytelling of Dom, like I mentioned in the last video, or he may not have like the beautiful melodies of Joba, but ultimately his energy and his character are what really make him stick out and what makes his verses so intoxicating. I'll go ahead and include a little clip of a concert that I think really captured how well fans react to his energy. In this clip, you can't even hear Merlyn saying his own verse because the crowd is just going so crazy and knows the verse word for word. His energy, his ad-libs, his pre-hooks are honestly hands down the best in the group and what make the formula work so well. So from there, does Merlyn have a potential for a solo career? Well, that's a really important question to ask. With each new project that comes out of Brockhampton, we see that Merlyn really showcases like another cadence, another flow, a different type of delivery. What does this mean for Merlyn? It just goes to show that he's a very versatile and very adaptable artist. This is really good, and it just goes to show that Merlyn's flexibility is ultimately super promising, and especially considering how little time he has to experiment and to grow with his talent. And honestly, I think he's going to be one of the more successful members of Brockhampton when it comes to dedicating time to a solo career. He has the energy, he has the cadence, he has the flow, the inflection, lyrical purpose, you name it. Merlyn just knows what he's doing ultimately. It's only a matter of just getting more practice while he's still in Brockhampton. Considering the direction that the Best Days of Our Lives is going to take, I think Merlyn has to definitely settle down a little bit, or maybe he won't. Maybe they'll allow him to have a little bit more of like a hype man presence. But all in all, I would love to see Merlyn start to tell a little bit more of a story, especially considering that he's been through a lot. I'm in college right now, so to hear him talk about his college struggles, his high school struggles, it just personally resonates with me a lot. But anyway, guys, this has just been a very quick video on Merlyn Wood. I really hope you guys learned something. Let me know down in the comments, what is your favorite Merlyn verse? What direction do you think he should take next, especially for the Best Days of Our Lives? Or do you just want him to be the ultimate hype man of Brockhampton? Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video.